Welcome, everybody. This is your boy, Crispy Daniels, and you are now on Show and Talk. So, tonight's episode is going to be very, very spooky. We're going to be talking about one of the scariest horror films of the year. And that movie, ladies and gentlemen, is Halloween Ends. Not really. That movie is some bullshit, y'all. So check this out, right? I seen it for the first time last week on Peacock, and I'm glad I did. But before I get into the movie, man, I just want to talk about Michael Myers for a second, right? And forgive me, y'all, my equipment is kind of cluttered right now. I've been out all day, so I really didn't have have much time to, organize everything. So if you see a big ass wire sticking out of my mic, that's my bad, yo. So, but anyway, Halloween, right? So the first movie, as you know, came out in 1978. The first movie was okay, but it went for like a first person perspective, sort of like Friday the 13th, the first one, and Sleepaway Camp. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, okay, these movies in the past, right? All these Halloween movies, with the exception of Halloween 3, I thought that movie was terrible. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of other people that like it, but I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Michael Myers. Bear with me, y'all. Michael Myers. He was a killer. He was a cold killing son of a bitch. This dude didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I mean, he had a little more what's the word I'm looking for? Mercy than Jason. You know what I mean? Jason just killed any fucking body he saw. But Mike was going after certain people, really. You know what I mean? But if you got into his way, if you got in his way, you done. You know what I mean? So, Michael Myers, remember this, show. He's a fucking killer. A killer. And he's killed many people in many different, brutal ways. But this trilogy right here, right? You know what I'm saying? The first Halloween 2018 movie, it was all right. You know what I mean? It was okay. I actually seen that after it came out of the theater. You know what I mean? Halloween Kills. I actually seen that in theaters last year. That movie was pretty decent, especially the scene where Michael Myers was just stabbing old boy, in the back, like over and over with different knives. I'm not even going to lie, y'all. That scene was hilarious, right? And before I get into Halloween Ends, we'll go back to the two Rob Zombie movies. I didn't really care for those. Number one, mainly, Rob Zombie films are great. Don't get me wrong. I see House of a Thousand Corpses. I see what's the other shit? The Devil's Rejects. You know what I mean? I seen those movies. Those movies were okay. You know what I mean? And the Halloween films, I seen both of those. And it's like in this one, they gave Michael Myers a clear backstory on, you know what I'm saying? They even went back to his childhood in full. And I don't think any other movie has really done that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So those movies were all right. I give those movies maybe a 6 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all probably won't agree with me, but they were straight. So now you got Halloween H2O. Right? Halloween H2O. I seen that too. That movie was pretty dope. You know what I mean? It was pretty good. And next, you know what I'm saying? Halloween Resurrection. For some strange reason, I remember that one better than H2O. And Michael Myers was not playing games in that one either. You know what I'm saying? But he did get taken down by Busta Rhymes, you know what I'm saying? Which was kind of crazy, and that's something I never thought I'd see, yo. You know what I'm saying? A mortal human taking down Michael Myers one-on-one. Yo, he was a beast. He was a beast in that movie, you know what I'm saying? And the other ones, you know what I'm saying? You got Halloween, like I said, 1978, Halloween 2, which took place in the hospital, you know what I'm saying? Laurie Strode in the hospital. And Mike was still trying to come after her ass because he knew she was still alive. You know what I'm saying? So he wanted her dead. He wanted her ass. You know what I'm saying? He wanted her ass. and that was a good movie. The that movie came out in 1981, I believe, maybe a year after the first Friday the 13th movie. You know what I'm saying? So Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Now, the reason why that movie is called The Return of Michael Myers because originally Halloween 3 was supposed to be like, in a series of different movies. You know what I'm saying? Like it's supposed to be in different things that take place on Halloween. That's why Michael Myers was not in the third one. So because they wanted to try something new. But if you listen closely in that movie, there's a scene where there's a lady talking on like the loudspeaker, intercom, or whatever. That's actually Jamie Lee Curtis. You know what I'm saying? So technically, Laurie Strode is in the movie. You know what I mean? There you go. It did. Moving on to part four. Part four, right? Not part four. I'm sorry, y'all. Part five. I think it's what, The Curse of Michael Myers, if I'm not mistaken. That movie is pretty good too. You know what I mean? Like I said, he was killing motherfuckers in his way. He was just, he was handling business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy those movies, man, because he was just doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Just doing what he was supposed to do, doing what he was designed to do. You know what I'm saying? So after Halloween 5, you got some others, right? But then now I'm going to lead on to the latest one. You know what I'm saying? Halloween Ends. This is what y'all came here to, listen to, or what y'all came here to, talk about. So, Halloween Ends. Okay, in the beginning, now, I knew about the movie before I watched it because I don't know, man. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I give myself spoilers or I listen to spoilers before I actually watch certain movies. You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much already knew what was going to happen, but I didn't listen to the point where, you know what I mean, where they was talking about, because a lot of people didn't want to reveal what happened to Mike. You know what I'm saying? So that part right there, I ain't see coming. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw the movie in the beginning, you had some dude, I guess he's a new character named Corey, right? So what happens is he accidentally kills a little kid because he was supposed to be babysitting this kid while the kid's parents went out. You know what I'm saying? So the kid was more like a little asshole. You know what I'm saying? And then the guy that was babysitting him, he was just trying to do the right thing. He wasn't supposed to let him watch movies or whatnot or TV, period. But he did. So after that, he was going to put him to bed. You know what I'm saying? So the kid basically tricked him, you know what I'm saying, into running upstairs, tricked him into running into one of the rooms or whatever. So when the kid shut the door behind him, homie started bugging out. You know what I mean? So he was just trying to break his way out of there. You know what I mean? The kid was behind the door, teasing him, taunting him. And so finally, right when the parents walked through the door, that's when he says, "I'm going to kill you." You know what I mean? But he was only saying that out of anger and frustration because you know how people say, "Kill this motherfucker." You know what I mean? So basically, he finally kicks his way out, but at the cost of killing the kid. So the kid falls over the top of the stairs and hits the floor. Now, that part I ain't see coming either because normally in horror movies and stuff like that, they don't kill off children. And if they do, they don't do it on screen. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that little boy got fucked up. Like, I ain't trying to sound messed up or nothing like that. But yeah, you know what I mean? But like, so, you know what I mean? Later on, right? This same guy is blamed because the mother thought, he killed her son on purpose or whatever. So it turns out he really didn't. He really did not mean to do it. You know what I'm saying? So he started getting bullied around town. People knew who he was and everything. And the only people that really, cared somewhat for him was his parents. What's the girl, Allison, and Laurie Strode, which we'll get to her in a minute. You know what I mean? So Allison, you know what I mean? He got into a little, not an altercation, but it was at a convenience store, corner store, or whatever. It was like this band, this little group of band members, you know what I'm saying, coming up to the store trying to buy alcohol and shit, right? But I guess they wasn't old enough. So they wanted him to do it. And he was just like, no. You know what I mean? He was an honest guy. I give him that. He stood up for himself against, I think it was like, what, five people, whatever. Then they started fucking with him because one of the white boys or whatever, he already knew who this dude was. So him and the dude got into a little back and forth, and Corey had a glass bottle in his hand, and he shattered it with his sheer strength. So, you know what I mean? They were surprised for a second. And then, next thing you know, they started fucking with him even harder until Laurie Strode pulled up. You know what I mean? Saving them pretty much. So, after they go into the store or whatever, he winds up slashing their tires and shit. So, yeah. Like, you could tell, slowly, he was losing it. He was losing his mind slowly because, basically, you got to understand, the depression, you know what I mean? And you got people always taunting him and shit like that. But then it's like when he runs into these kids again, this group of kids again, right? Because I'm going to just skip to that part, you know what I mean? Because like I said, this movie was bad, man. And I'm not going to sit here and yell and scream like other YouTubers did or other, podcasters or whatever. I'm not going to exaggerate, but I'm just going to simply say what I saw, speak on what I saw. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty bad. So what happened was they run into each other again. So the dude basically grabs Corey, right? After they got into a little altercation. Because he said something about the old boy's dad, the white boy's dad or whatever. So the white boy grabs him and tosses his ass over the bridge or whatever. And he falls and hits the ground. Unconscious, of course. And there's an old guy down there, you know what I'm saying, like speaking, like talking to him or whatever. Basically, he wanted Michael Myers' mask. So Michael Myers himself, not nobody else, Michael Myers himself pulls Corey into the sewer because for some reason Michael Myers was hiding down there for 4 years, right? Since when does Michael Myers give a fuck about anybody looking for him? Strike number one, in my opinion. So, you know what I'm saying? When Corey finally comes to, he doesn't know where he is at first, right? Whatever. So then that's, he's looking around or whatever, and then that's when he encounters Michael. And Michael grabs his ass by the throat, right? And just, choking him, just looking at him dead in the eyes or whatever. Just looking at him. Just like choking him, looking at him. And Corey was looking at him too. Surprisingly, for some reason, he had no fear of Mike. You know what I mean? So Mike let him go. Pay attention, y'all. Mike let him go. He let him go. Since when did Michael fucking Myers let anybody go? Well, with the exception, you know what I'm saying, the little girl at Halloween part 4, I believe. Was it 4? No, it was 4. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really like trying to kill her like that, but then again he was. It's kind of weird. I ain't seen that movie in years. I gotta go back and watch it, y'all. But yeah, he lets him go. So next thing you know, this man Corey, right? Ever since that incident, basically what happened was Mike transferred his evil over to him. Because then that's when he really slowly starts to lose it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to jump into the spoiler section, yo, because the movie is bad. Most of y'all who watch this video have probably already seen it anyway. And then the ones who hadn't seen it probably don't give a shit because they heard from the ones who've seen it. But then you can't follow word of mouth either because, like I said, I decided to give the movie a chance even though I had many people tell me that movie was bad. So, I'm about giving anything a chance. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. You know what I mean? So basically, he starts hanging around Laurie's granddaughter. You know what I mean? So, like I said, he starts to slowly lose his mind or whatever, right? And his first pretty much kill was the cop. But before all of that, you know what I'm saying, the cop was being a little asshole and everything while they was in the restaurant. He wouldn't stop talking to Allison. And then Corey stood up, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically, yo, fuck off, you know what I'm saying? So he went back down. The cop went back down to take his seat. I guess Corey sat back down. So later on that night, after Allison and Corey went their separate ways, I guess the cop knew where Corey went to because he followed him. You know what I'm saying? So he followed him into the sewer. Now this is the part right here that kind of mystified me, because a lot of people say after that kill, Michael Myers got stronger. You know what I'm saying? I guess he was weak because of lack of killing anybody in 4 years. I don't know how that worked, but you know what I'm saying? But yeah, he hasn't murdered nobody in 4 years. He was hidden in the sewer. So basically the cop comes down there looking for him or whatever. It was a trap. Corey let him down there intentionally. So Corey was holding him while Michael Myers was basically, stabbing the shit out of him or whatever, because he wanted Michael to teach him how to kill. He was saying, teach me how to kill, teach me how to kill, whatever. So after that, Corey moves on like nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? So he's starting to talk, him and Allison get closer and closer or whatever. And I'm going to tell you something else too. This Corey character, I don't know if anybody else said this, but I'm going to say I consider myself the first to say it. This movie kind of reminded me of Christine, right? You know how you got Gordon and Christine. He was a little nerd getting picked on in high school and everything until he comes across until he comes across Christine. You know what I'm saying? So basically what happens is Christine starts to basically possess his soul. And he's like, now he's just like this dude who's obsessed with the car or whatever. But he was also kind of a killer too, because sometimes he would drive the car that would cause the car to kill people. And sometimes the car did it on his own. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of ambiguous, but you know what I mean? Yeah, the movie kind of reminded me of Christine, because like I said, when he came across Mike looked at him, and next thing you know, he's a cold-blooded killer, right? So, and there was, now this next scene is strike two for me, y'all. Strike two. So, there's one scene. I guess he felt like he didn't have the respect or whatever, like of the town or whoever yet. So this dude goes back to the sewer, and you can see how when the camera zooms out, you can see how he just wrestled Michael Myers. Michael Myers, y'all, remember, Michael Myers. How he wrestled his ass to the ground. Took his fucking mask. He took Michael Myers' mask, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Took his mask. I think he took his whole shit, to be honest, because it looked like he was wearing his outfit too. So when he had the mask, he donned the mask or whatever, and then that's when he got back at the band camp members. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And I felt like their deaths, with the exception of the one girl who was trying to get them to stop fucking with him, you know what I mean, in the beginning, their deaths to me were justified. I mean, I'm not condoning you kill anybody in real life for picking on you, but there was just some goddamn assholes. You know what I'm saying? So they got they comeuppance. You know what I'm saying? Every single one of them. But then the problem I had with him going around killing people is not the fact that he was killing people. It's just the fact that the kills just felt rushed. You know what I'm saying? Like, he killed the band members, he killed the doctor, he killed the nurse aide or whatever that was there with him, and then he killed the radio DJ, which I believe the radio DJ got it the worst. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you haven't seen it, you'll know what I mean when you watch it. But yeah, the kills were just rushed because it seemed like he was doing it back to back. You know what I'm saying? Just like back to back. But yeah, man. After that, Lori, basically confronts him, telling him to stay away from her granddaughter or whatever, because he knows what he's about. You know what I'm saying? Right along with the husband of the kid who was murdered accidentally. He knew that wasn't Corey anymore, just by looking at his eyes. You know what I'm saying? And so did Lori. So basically, one night, Lori comes home, and it looked like she's about to kill herself, yo, because it's really because of her kind of that he turned out the way he did. But it was all a trick. You know what I'm saying? She shot the gun to make it look like she committed suicide, but no, she didn't. And then Corey comes out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And she winds up shooting him. And then next thing you know, he's basically saying, if I can't have her, which is Allison or whatever. Because like I said, she really wanted him to stay away from her. So he basically said if he can't have her, nothing. He just stabbed himself in the neck and killed her and murdered himself. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when Michael comes in the picture. And now the final showdown, what everybody wanted to see for 40 years, yo. Michael versus Laurie. Laurie won, so unsurprisingly, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, Michael Myers was kind of like a little bitch in this movie. And I don't know why they did that to him, but she winds up winning. And the way she killed him, I'm not going to say. I'm just going to let y'all watch it because it was kind of drawn out, but it was kind of uneventful too. So I'm going to let y'all watch that part. I'm not going to talk about the end scene at all. I know I said spoilers, but if you haven't seen it, just go watch it to see what I'm talking about. And if you're watching it on Peacock, all you got to do is fast forward to the end, and you'll see what I mean. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I don't want to talk anymore about this film. I decided because I had a choice tonight. I either wanted to talk about this or Black Phone, which next weekend we'll talk about Black Phone. And stay tuned, tomorrow. Got my interview with Kevin Best. We're going to be talking about video games. I'm going to be showing some of my collection. I did a video on it before, but y'all haven't seen that one because it's on Instagram. I haven't uploaded it to Facebook, but yo, if you're into video games, it's gonna be a special treat tomorrow. So y'all stay tuned. And I'm gonna show you something else. Now I'm not sponsored by this company or anything, but yo, if you are a water drinker, you need to get one of these. You see this? The Zeus jug. This is a 3-liter jug, you know what I'm saying? And your water will stay cold for 5 days, 120 hours. And your hot liquids will stay hot for 24 hours. You can get this from Walmart, like for a little bit. $35. This shit is great. You know what I mean? I use it all the time. I love it. But yo, that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned for our interview tomorrow. And I'll see y'all then. Peace.